Hello and welcome to Talk of Good Game. It's the review of the FA Cup quarter-final. It finished Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1. Quiet first half, lots of talking points in the second half, and we're going to dive straight into the second half. Let's ignore the first half as if it didn't happen. I've got Gonzo and Tom with me. I'm Gio from Hammers Chat. Gonzo, let's talk about Man U's penalty claim then. Winston Reid slid in, blocked Herrera's shot. Penalty to you or not? Stratford End seemed to think it was a penalty.
Yeah, they would, wouldn't they? No, it wasn't a penalty. No, hit his thigh, whatever, leg first, then ricocheted up onto his arm. So that wasn't a penalty.
Tom, sort of late into the second half, we went off his hamstring injury, but Sacco came on for Enrique. What do you make of Enrique's performance, Tom? Did he miss some really good chances for West Ham?
Yeah, I think the first half, the header that he had, I would have expected him to head it back across goal, and he headed it right into De Gea. He missed some chances, like we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or the other week, sorry, that we didn't really care if he scored, but if he ran his socks off. But unfortunately, he didn't run his socks off today, so you could sort of pick out the performance wasn't great.
I think Enrique had a strange role today. It was probably a bit different for him today with Andy Carroll up there as well. He was probably a little bit, what do I do, where do I go kind of thing. And now the big other talking point is the penalty at the other end, this time for West Ham. Tom, what's your view on the tackle on Dimitri Payet? Pen, no pen?
I'd say, no, without a doubt, I'd say pen. I think because he seems to have... Martin Atkinson, obviously, there was a lot of calls from Man United's end. It was, handball. And he's tried to let it go on, but I honestly think he's got that one wrong. I think he's bottled that decision massively. Replay suggested it was a penalty. It was a clear penalty. Got him round the ankles. It was a late challenge, so yeah.
Well, the show's all about different opinions, and someone might have a different opinion. Gonzo, what's your thoughts on the penalty?
I was disappointed to see what Payet did. The play just before was very, very good. And then as he ran forward, he slowed himself up to win the penalty and left his leg trailing late. And I was disappointed to see him do it. Now, I'm not even entirely sure whether the defender made contact or not. But I would have he had real momentum and his pace, and he slowed up to win the pen. I don't know why he just didn't keep on running. He'd beaten the guy, just carry on running and either shoot or square it. I was very, very disappointed, but obviously I was slightly more elated shortly afterwards,
Yeah, well, it wasn't too shortly later. Payet got revenge on Manchester United for no penalty. Tom, he was about 30 yards out. You must be thinking, why are you shooting from here? You're not going to beat De Gea from there.
Yeah, we just said it, didn't we, before we came on? I said to you, I said to my flatmate when she was sat here, I said, there's no way he beats one of the best keepers in the world from 35 yards out. And honestly, one of the best free kicks I've seen, technically wise. The way he's had to drift that ball into the top left-hand corner to hit the post is a sweet, sweet free kick.
Now, I said this, I think it was the Blackburn game. Why do keepers not expect this? I've only seen Dimitri Payet hit it in the other corner once, I think, and that was against Liverpool up to point. Every other free kick he takes, he bends it round that wall into that corner. Tom, why is De Gea not just taking a gamble and taking 2 steps to the right so he can reach the corner? Why is De Gea giving him all that space to say, if you put it in there, which we know he can, you've scored? Why is he doing that?
I don't know. You could have to ask De Gea that one, because I mean, he should do. People should read the scouting report that Payet has got a free kick in his locker from that range. Honestly, I can't tell you, because I've got no idea why he takes 2 steps to the left. He's quick on his feet. He's a bit like Lloris in that respect. He's quick to make and get across his goal, saves-wise. Unless he thinks maybe the ball is bending so far wide, because he sees it hitting the post, maybe he thinks it's going to go out. But even that's not really an excuse for not being in the right position.
Gonzo, are we being harsh on De Gea, or do you think maybe De Gea thought he was perfectly positioned to get across there, but Payet has just got so much pace on the free kick as well as precision that it's just one of them you can't stop. It's world class.
Yeah, I think you're not harsh on De Gea, but perhaps underestimating just how good Payet is. If De Gea takes 2 strides more to his right, then Payet has enough ability. He'll just pop it in the other corner. I think he's that good. And what's the old saying? Once is a fluke. Twice is a trend, and 3 times is consistency. And I just think that really Payet's scored enough free kicks now to know that he is one of the best in the league, probably one of the best we've seen in the league if he carries on. And it doesn't really matter where they stand. He'll put it where the keeper is not.
Yeah, but Gonzo, I'm not suggesting he stands in the middle at the start. I'm suggesting he takes his normal position, and while Payet starts his movement, he takes that couple of steps to get ready to get into the corner for the ball. I just don't understand why keepers don't gamble. Why they give Payet, a world-class free kick taker, so much space to aim for. I just think it's suicidal, and it's proven this season to be suicidal. Now, one thing that didn't go discussed during the match very much, Gonzo, I'll start with you. Antonio, do you think that was a 2-foot tackle from Antonio? He didn't dive in, but his studs were up, 2 feet were there. It was almost like a scissor. It wasn't quite as bad as Wanyama Upton Park, but do you think that was very risky by Antonio?
Yeah, I do, but there was a lot of that going on today, to be perfectly honest with you. There were a lot of sort of robust challenges going in from everybody. It was a risk, but I mean, I can't apportion any blame to him because he's playing completely out of position. It's square pegs in round holes at the moment, and we're paying the price perhaps for Jenkinson's injury, which is and obviously Tompkins. You need 2 players for every position, don't you? And do you know what? We just don't have 2 right backs, and that really is the problem. Antonio has to play there, which is a shame because he looked really good going forward, didn't he? When he did manage to get a bit of momentum and almost scored a goal himself. So if he makes some defensive mistakes, then so be it. It wasn't the only mistake that the referee made today, by the way.
Well, I thought when Schweinsteiger came on, I thought he changed the game for Man United. I thought he was a different class when Schweinsteiger came on. One thing he did do to change the game was bundle Randolph into the goal for Man U's equalizer. Tom, do you think that was a free kick on Randolph, or do you think it's the right call in that he wasn't going to get there?
I think, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, yes, it was a foul. I don't know how much of the referee's seen him bundle in. I mean, Schweinsteiger's movement has taken him into to Randolph, but I think Randolph's in a position to save that. Like Gonzo just alluded to, there's been a lot of bad decisions today. I mean, it happened so fast. Again, maybe his eyes were elsewhere, but the linesman should have seen it. It's one of those calls that sometimes goes unnoticed, but it was a foul.
What's your view on that, Gonzo? Should the goal have stood, or would that have been harsh on Man United, do you think?
I think that one is harsh on the referee, actually, because I just think there's so much going on. It's really hard to see. I'd tell you what, I'd have been disappointed if that had happened in a European game, because they've got the 300 officials, haven't they, around the touchline, those 2 guys that don't actually do anything on either side of the goal. If it had happened with that, then I think, okay, fair enough. But I do think, you've got your eyes on the general play, and Martial's, has come in, and actually the player's come from the other side. He's got to watch the ball whipped over Martial. I just think I think he'd have to have eyes in the back of his head to see absolutely everything. And I can understand. Was he impeded? Yes. I can understand how the referee missed that one.
No, I agree with that. I agree with Tom. The linesman should be looking at that. The linesman should be looking right across that area of the pitch, and he should see exactly what Schweinsteiger's done. I think Schweinsteiger's done intentionally. I think he's watching the flight of the ball and he just kind of barged into Randolph. But it's just one of them things that's frustrating. It can be the difference between Wembley or no Wembley. Obviously, we'll be in the draw for tomorrow night, Tom, but how are you feeling right now? I've got a feeling of deflation almost. It just feels like it's been a kick in the guts not winning that tie.
Yeah, it's a bit of kick in the guts, but I think it reminded me a lot like Liverpool, or the round against Liverpool. We'll be back at Upton Park, and the last ever FA Cup tie to be now played at Upton Park. I think yet again the fans are going to be up for that, and I think that's going to be another fantastic tie. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's a kick in the teeth, but can we pick ourselves up from there? Of course we can, and I think we'll be fine. Honestly, I think we'll be fine. We've got a week to recover, I think, until Chelsea, so I think we'll be all right.
What's your thoughts, Gonzo? Are you looking forward to having Man U? They'll be the last ever league opponents and the last ever FA Cup opponents at the Bowling Ground.
Yeah, well, I'll be looking forward to it if I can get a ticket. Yeah, I mean, everything that Tom just said, really, but it feels like a loss today. And I think it's a measure of how far we've come as a club. That number one, I expected to go to Old Trafford and win, and number two, I'm disappointed when we didn't. But we were winning, and it was a bit of a sucker punch quite late in the game as well. But yeah, absolutely, we'll bring them back to Upton Park. And we're still obviously we're waiting on a date. We don't have confirmation on that. Gives us a little bit of fixture congestion, but you know what? I mean, it's brilliant. One more game at Upton Park. Nobody can complain about that.
Well, the big question for these guys in a second, but draw is on Monday night. 12, 14 and 15 league positions are in the draw, as well as West Ham Man U. So I think whoever wins this tie will be favourites to lift the trophy in May at Wembley. But Tom, who was your man of match today?
Tough one. Obviously Payet got the goal. I think Noble was good in midfield today. I think he made some excellent runs off the ball and he held the ball up quite well. Kouyaté had another strong game, I think. I'm gonna have to give it to. I'm gonna go for Noble today because Payet didn't do too much in the first half, and Noble controlled that midfield at times.
Gonzo, what's your thoughts? Man of match, please.
Yeah. I thought I'll go with Tom now. I thought Noble shaded Ogbonna, who, as I keep saying, just gets better and better and better. What I'd say with Ogbonna is, even though I'm giving a bubbly to Noble, I've only really Van Dijk at Southampton as him and Ogbonna are probably the two best centre backs I've seen live this year, and watching it on the box today, of course, as well. Ogbonna's fantastic. But yeah, Noble today for all the reasons Tom just gave.
I thought Ogbonna was on course to win it, but it can't escape me that it was his man that scored the equaliser. Ogbonna chased him out the box, and then Martial was at the back post when Ogbonna was still in the middle 18-yarder. But I think that'd be really harsh to criticise Ogbonna for that when you're watching the ball, etc. My match is for Lanzini. I thought he was excellent. He looks like he's just ridiculously good. I cannot wait to the day West Ham announce the permanent signing of Lanzini. I will be a happy hammer. Anyway, that's all from us. If you want to read the match report and also keep up to date with all the way to this West Ham news before the Chelsea game next week, do pop on to claretandhugh.info. We'll be back during the week with our preview. We've also got a very special video coming up at some point this week, hopefully, but do look out for it as well. So while you're here, make sure you subscribe. Also, if you're on social media, it's facebook.com/HammersChat, and on Twitter it's @Hammers_chat. But of course, the most important thing, if you want to talk with West Ham fans, come on to our forum, which is 100% free, hammerschat.boards.net. All the links are below in the description on YouTube. But that's been Gonzo, that's been Tom, I've been Gio, and we've been Hammers Chat. Thank you very much for watching.